Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're on the way still to 12,500 subscribers. And of course, if you could click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. There is lots to get into today. It is basically the Bolton preview. We'll be talking about the team news. Obviously, Arteta's done a press conference today. We will fully go through that. And there's been a lot going on social media today as well. And some of it is interesting, amusing, and downright ridiculous. But look, there's loads of you here, which we love to see. Hyper, Vivi Vlad, Icarus, Layla, Ross Lawman, top player, Tom Min, Oslo Guna, Ross, Mr. H, Emil, Leeds Gunner, Oslo Guna, Pekka, Nid, Guy, and many, Lord Ferguson of Aberdeen, Lukey, and many, many more. We've even got someone in the chat called Rodri's ACL. Good to see you. There you go. Ryan's here as well. Hannah, Jack Sachs. It is good to see you all. But look, we'll kick things off nice and simply with Mikel Arteta's press conference. I'll just whack it up on screen so that you can read along with me. But in terms of the key things, so he was asked a lot about the Man City game. Doesn't want to talk about it. Literally did not want to talk about it. Whether he's recovered from Sunday, he said fully recovered. It's like a normal game. How he assesses the game, I already did it. We've moved on. We're ready to battle again tomorrow. The emotions and rivalry of the game, just said, I don't know. We move on. That's it. It was constant. He did a little bit about how Arsenal played the game. Red card for Trossard. I've reflected on that. It's the same reflection today. Whether he wants consistency, it's the same answer. It went on and on and on. In terms of the things that are interesting, obviously in terms of the team news, on whether he will make 10 or 11 changes for tomorrow, he said at the moment we cannot because we don't have another 10 players available. And I do think this is an important thing. You know, people are talking about dropping X, Y, and Z. It's like we can't drop everyone. So you've got to pick and choose, okay, like, who is it most important for us to give a rest to here? And we'll go through what I think the 11 should be later on. He was asked about what Raheem Sterling's been like. He said, very good. He's had a few minutes already, and tomorrow he has another opportunity. I strongly expect Raheem Sterling to start tomorrow. He's ready. He's really hungry to add more minutes and impact the team in a way that he can. And hopefully tomorrow we can see that. Now, on to the big ones. Whether David Raya is injured, he said, let's see how they are today, and we will try and make a call on that if it's possible. Now, what we've seen from the Daily Mail today is this. David Raya is expected to be rested for Arsenal's Carabao Cup tie versus Bolton. The Spaniard suffered a knock, which is not thought to be serious, and he is expected to return against Leicester City at the weekend. However, as I said yesterday, Neto is cup tied. He's already played in the tournament for Bournemouth. He can't play for us. Setford is also injured. He got injured on the international break. And so the goalkeeper that is next in line and is expected to step up and start tomorrow is Jack Porter. I'll be honest. So I think he was the guy that was in the Champions League squad. I'd never heard of him. He is 16 years old and he is expected to play in goal for us in the Carabao Cup tomorrow. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Look, it's only Bolton, but I mean, what an experience it will be for him, right? To play at the Emirates in front of what will hopefully be a pretty full crowd is really cool. But yeah, that's what it looks like we're going into tomorrow. The good thing is that Raya seemingly isn't badly injured. So that's the most important thing. But yeah, Jack Porter. There you go. That would have been an absolute... Jack Porter would have been an absolute killer for Guess the Gooner. That would have been sensational. On some other things, Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly's recent involvements, he said, I'm very proud of them. They're dealing with a situation that probably they didn't expect. They have had the chance to play in two of the most historic and difficult grounds in the Premier League, and they both responded really well. And I agree. That is pretty cool. Zinchenko's injury. He was asked about Alex Zinchenko's injury. I think he will be out for a few weeks, unfortunately. So this is, again, it's the same two players that we consistently have this problem with. Zinchenko and Tomiyasu. They get injuries that we don't know how they happen. We don't know when they happen. We barely know what they are. And it leaves them out for weeks and weeks at a time. If Zinchenko is going to be out for a few weeks, that means that, this is going to have been a 2-month injury. Tomiyasu's injury, which seemed innocuous at the time, that was at the start of August. We're now we're closing in on the start of October. That's like a 2-3 month injury. These aren't good enough. And actually, tomorrow is the best example of why this isn't good enough. Because obviously, I made a TikTok earlier about the team news and mentioned Zinchenko's injuries. And look, a lot of people in the comments said, does it really matter that Zinchenko's injured? And in general, it's not too much of a problem. But actually, tomorrow, Tomiyasu would have started. Zinchenko would have started. These are the games where now, as Arteta said, we don't have 10 available players to come in. We're going to have to start players tomorrow that could have done with a rest because the squad players are injured. And that is frustrating. It is frustrating. And I think with both of them, the reality is I don't think they'll be at the club for much longer, to be honest, based on that. The reserves need to be fit. Exactly. This is why I said we can't let Kivior go. Yeah, you were right. You were right. I hold my hands up on that. I mean, no, I don't hold my hands up fully because I said I wanted to get rid of Tomiyasu, not Kivior. But yeah, you were correct. It's going to be a long-ass season. It is. It is indeed. Yeah, Tomiyasu was injured before the team went to America. Yeah, which was the start of August. Well, even before that. Yeah, more like mid-July. If Zinni and Tommy were fit, we could rest Timber, Benny, Calla, and even Gabriel. Yeah. If Zinchenko and Tomiyasu were fit, the back line tomorrow could very comfortably have been Miles Lewis-Skelly at right back, Tomiyasu right centre back, Kivior left centre back, and Zinchenko left back. Like we could very easily have rested Calafiori, Timber, White, Saliba, and Gabriel, and now we can't. So it's frustrating. Zinchenko's only been out for 2 weeks. Saying he's out for 2 months is a bit much. No, but if it's going to be another few weeks, then it's going to be okay. It's going to be a minimum of 6 weeks, basically, by the time he's back, and that's if he comes back straight after the international break. However, the good news is this: a time frame for Martin Odegaard. I think it will be a matter of weeks. How long exactly, I cannot tell you. He was then asked if he'll play before the internationals. He said we might get a surprise, but I think it's unlikely. Now, the reason I think that is good news is there were quite a few people saying he was going to be out until the end of November, potentially, with this injury. Whereas now we're talking about, we might get a surprise and see him back before the international break, which leaves me hopeful. If it's only a matter of weeks, he's going to be back after the international break. And if he is back after the international break, that's pretty good. That means he's only going to miss Leicester and Southampton as the other 2 Premier League games. So hopefully that is true. Still no news on Merino. No one even asked a question about Merino either. The only news we've had about Merino was this news that came out from a pretty rogue, in-the-know type source that said Merino's expected to return to training either at the end of this week or the start of next week. But no credible journalist has said that. Arteta hasn't said it, so we don't know for sure. MLS can step up. He has a boss mentality. He does, yeah. We found out today what Miles Lewis-Skelly... That's the end of that, by the way. We found out today what Miles Lewis-Skelly actually got booked for, right? I don't know if I've ever heard of a player being booked for it before. So the reason that Miles Lewis-Skelly was booked was because he went behind the goal. So obviously they warm up on the touchline, right? They run down to the corner flag and back. He went slightly down more towards Raya, so from the corner flag down towards Raya, and told Raya to go down so that Mikel Arteta could do a huddle. And he got booked for that. And I can't even remember the actual law that he technically got booked for, the name of it. But it's it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I got booked for talking to the goalkeeper, effectively. It's crazy. It is crazy. Merino and Calafiori at the left-hand side will be outstanding. I agree. I think Arteta likes playing mind games with injury timelines. I don't trust what he says about Odegaard. It could be longer than weeks. It could be. Look, maybe Arteta... But typically, Arteta wouldn't do it that way round because I don't think it's a good thing to get fans' hopes up about a player if you know they're going to be out for longer, because it just means that when they don't come back as quickly as you've kind of suggested they might, it just adds to the negativity. So I would be surprised, but Arteta 100% not playing Odegaard before the international break, as that will be a way to keep him home for the break. Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Yeah, Odegaard is not going to play before the international break. Especially because the game before it is Southampton. Like, you wouldn't risk bringing him back early for Southampton, realistically. And that's the other one. Hopefully, Marino doesn't go on the next international break either. Can we talk about how good was Martinelli? Oh, look, Martinelli, I thought, had an excellent game. I thought Martinelli got the assist for the goal, worked unbelievably hard. That was the key thing. The work rate of him was absolutely unbelievable. Who's the player that got a serious injury, according to Arteta? I don't think anyone got a serious injury. I don't think anyone got a serious injury, did they? So the main thing he said was, no, I don't think anyone said it. He was asked how many players will be available for Wednesday. He said, I always prefer the facts than words or supposing things. So let's see who's available tomorrow, and then we can talk about dark arts or those things. Unfortunately, there will be a few players who are not available. Tomorrow, you will find it as soon as I give the lineup. We have to wait on one of them. Where did he say it? Oh, we have to wait to see if it's serious. What part did he say that in? He said, so I'm just reading the transcript here. So on this, on how many players will be, he said we have to wait on one of them. Where did he say it could be serious? Oh, one player we need to wait for a scan. Nid, thank you very, very much for the 100 rupees. UK Odegaard, he's dying to get, Odegaard, he's dying to get fit and get back. Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Odegaard will be back as quickly as he possibly can. Supposedly it's Raya. Well, I don't think Raya's going to play tomorrow anyway. I don't think... So he was asked about if Raya is injured. He said, let's see how they are today, and we will make a call on that if it's a possibility. Yeah, VV Vlad raises a good point here. I am a little bit worried about Bukayo Saka. I am a bit worried about Bukayo Saka. Rumors it's Timber. I think these are just rumors, but I mean, in this thing, I'm not even seeing anything about a serious injury. Can someone at least like let me know where I can read about the serious injury? Because it's not in this transcript. BBC Sport. Romano quoted it. Right. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Because I don't want to spread misinformation if it's not true. Do you know roughly how long ago he did it? I can't see anything. As far as I can tell, spoke about Zinchenko, spoke about Odegaard. I don't know. Honestly, I can't see anything about it. I really don't know. 6 hours ago. Basically, BBC Sport made it sound like it was worse, I think. The headline said unknown player could have a new serious injury. Yeah, I think I don't think there is. I don't think there is. I mean, I can't even see it from Fabrizio. The Fabrizio tweets, he says it's all just stuff from the press conference. So he says Zinchenko's not ready to play yet and will be out for a few weeks. Odegaard, it will be a matter of weeks. There's nothing. So I don't know. But look. The ones that we're concerned about are Calafiori, but I think it's just cramp. Timber, but I think it's just cramp. Raya, but according to the Daily Mail, at least, he's expected to be fine by the Leicester game. And then Saka, it would be the only other one. And the only reason I'm worried about Saka is because he went off at halftime for Ben White. And I know, like, that was kind of tactical. But I don't know if you would necessarily take off Saka at halftime for Ben White when you're acknowledging that Ben White is also injured. Dan Potts and Lee Judge said it on their channel. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, maybe Ben White. Maybe Ben White. I don't know. I don't know. But look, we'll have to wait and see. We'll find out tomorrow. The at least slightly relieving thing is that over the next few weeks, until after the international break now, our games are okay. Other than PSG is difficult, but other than that, if the player's going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks, then they'll be back after the international break anyway. Ben White is quoted with a knock. Yeah, Ben White has a knock. We know Ben White has a knock because Arteta himself said that Ben White played through an injury against Man City. And that is why I'm a bit worried about Saka. Because I'm like, that tactical choice, like, would you tactically take off a perfectly okay Saka for an injured Ben White for the entire second half? And I don't know if the answer to that is yes. Saka was the only option to get subbed in the City game, as we needed Gabby's work rate and Havertz. But Saka's got that work rate. Saka does have that work rate. I don't know. Maybe. We'll wait and see. We'll find out. I mean, I don't even think we'll find out tomorrow because even if Saka's perfectly fine, I would still rest him for tomorrow anyway. But we'll wait and see. No, I get that Saka makes sense tactically, but it's like if Ben White was fully fit, I 100% get it. I 100% get why you would do that. But to go to a back five, I don't know. I just found it interesting. But yeah, if Saka can be rested tomorrow as well. And so for me, the team tomorrow, my lineup for tomorrow would be what's his name? What's that keeper's name? Porter in goal, if that's going to have to be the choice. We've got no options. Nichols at right back. You'll remember Nichols from pre-season. I think Nichols got about, I don't know, maybe like 90 minutes in total through pre-season, but I was quite impressed by him when he came on. Kivior and Gabriel centre-backs with Miles Lewis Skelly at left-back. It's Bolton, not Barca. Play a third string. Yeah, but we don't have a third string, is the problem. I'm not sure Aiden Heaven is fit. I'm not sure about Aiden Heaven because he wasn't in the squad. Kakuri was in the squad against City ahead of Heaven. But maybe Heaven. Maybe Heaven instead of Gabriel. Miles Lewis. The thing is, my worry about that would be if you've got a 16-year-old in goal, you got an 18-year-old at right back. You've got Heaven, Miles Lewis. Heaven played yesterday, though. Yeah, so I don't think Heaven's going to play. I still think, don't get me wrong, it's Bolton. We don't need to take it that seriously. I still think, no, Tierney's not back yet. Tierney isn't back. I still think you need to put the odd, proper, experienced player in here or there because those kids still need some anchors around them, right? So I'd have Miles Lewis Skelly at left back. I would then have Jorginho, Rice, and Nwaneri in midfield. I would then have Sterling off the right, Jesus off the left, and Havertz up top. Well, no, I'm undecided. No, I'd have Sterling off the right, Martinelli off the left, and Jesus up top. Havertz needs a break. Rice, there's no other option. It's either you could maybe try Salah, right? You could maybe try Salah in midfield instead of Rice. But again, that leaves me a bit worried having Salah in there. So I would go Rice. Yeah, Trossard's suspended. Trossard is suspended for the Bolton game. Trossard can't play. The suspension is for the Bolton game. Trossard can't play tomorrow. He can play on Saturday. So, yeah, I would start Rice. Look, 45 minutes. Rice didn't play against Spurs. I would play him for 45 minutes, and then I would swap him out if possible. The thing is, Partey is the one that needs a break. Partey has played every single minute in the Premier League for us this season. He also played every single minute for Ghana in the international break. The only game where he hasn't played every single minute was against Atalanta, where he got subbed off on like the 60th minute. Partey desperately needs a rest. So he has to be prioritized over Declan Rice, in my opinion. And do you know what? I still think Rice is getting up to full speed this season. So yeah, I wouldn't mind starting Rice. That's great for us if Trossard is suspended for Bolton. Yeah, he is. Remember Nick Pope was suspended for the Carabao Cup final against Man United because when he came out and handballed it and got a straight red. Don't know if you remember that one, but that's an example that the suspensions are served in the Carabao Cup. We might see a surprise inclusion, possibly. Yeah, the players that I absolutely want to be rested are Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, Partey, Saka, Havertz. They're the 6 that I think desperately need to be rested. Yeah, Karius played, yeah. Could play 4-4-2 to play one less centre mid. Yeah, but we haven't got enough attacking players to do that. We haven't got enough attacking players to play 2 strikers, a left mid and a right mid. Pope came out of the box and handled it and got sent off. Well, Vicario. Yeah. Funny that, isn't it? Funny that. But yeah, so that's what I'd go for. Obviously, I'm going to be there. So there's no stream tomorrow because I will be at the game. Only 261 people in here, but only 53 likes. If 50 of you could click the like button that haven't done already just to get us up to 100 likes, I would be incredibly grateful. That would be sensational of you. It really would. Rory, do you think the story of clubs complaining to PGML about us sounds too clickbaity, to be honest, but would be hilarious if true? Yeah, so look, there's been this big thing today that it came out earlier that clubs have complained to PGMOL about Arsenal for our dark arts and our gamesmanship, right? Now, we don't know for certain that is true. It was written quite deep in I think a Daily Mail article by a Man City fan, a Man City journalist, but he's a Man City fan, claiming that the clubs have complained to the PGML about us last season. That's the only evidence of it. Now everyone's then picked up on it, so I don't know if it is true. But one thing for sure is that a lot of people are complaining about it. We're seeing it everywhere. People complaining about Arsenal and our gamesmanship and targeting Rodri and all the rest of it. And I just want to show you something. That I think is quite interesting. Here we go. Where is it? This is the one. I just want to show you this. So this was an article written. This was an article written when Man City beat us 3-1 at the Emirates, when they had 36% possession. Okay? 36% possession. Men against boys as Arsenal left bloodied by Man City. That's interesting, isn't it? Because Arsenal being aggressive is seen as a bad thing. Arsenal had no one to blame but themselves. They gifted the champions Manchester City 2 goals. Yada, yada, yada. But it gets quite interesting down here. City also got in their opponents' heads. In the first half, they, Silva in particular, took turns to nibble at Saka. Oh, that's an interesting way of saying it, isn't it? So Arsenal targeted Rodri because Havertz ran into him at the start of the game. That was it. That was the only thing that happened to Rodri. But Arsenal targeted Rodri and were set out to hurt him and injure him. But when they did that, when City did that to Saka, oh no, it was Silva in particular. They just took turns to nibble. They just took turns to nibble as they bloodied Arsenal. Okay, they slowed the game down by wasting time, and they stayed down after challenges. They got under Arsenal's skin. Game management or gamesmanship? Either way, it worked. Oh, that's different, isn't it? That's a bit different to what we've been hearing. This is the Telegraph. Arsenal could not deal with that, which has to be a worry for Arteta, even if every criticism of them should be through the prism that no one expected them to be in this position this season. Oh, and this is where it really. But how City flexed their muscles. It was an evening when Haaland stood tall, when Kevin De Bruyne overshadowed Martin Odegaard, and where Arsenal missed the physicality of the injured Thomas Partey. It was also feisty and a little petty, and in the end, City did a job on their rivals. Wow. So when City do it, when City time waste, when City have players staying down after challenges, when City target Arsenal's best player, oh, it's great. It's great. They got under our skin. They did a job on us. Well done, City. And not good enough from Arsenal. Not good enough from Arsenal. This was when we were weak. This was when we had a soft underbelly, etc., etc. Interesting. Very interesting. But there's no agenda. There's no agenda. Don't be ridiculous. There is no agenda. Absolutely not. But what we do need to make sure is that people like Miles Lewis Skelly are picking up bookings for talking to David Raya. I think that's the important thing here. But no, it's insane. It is insane. There was also an article in The Athletic today, and this is where it got a bit juicy on Twitter today. There was an article by a guy called Steve Madeley, I think it was, in The Athletic. And well, again, it was quite interesting. In fact, I'll pull it. You won't be able to see it on here, but I will pull it up just so that I don't want to misquote him. I personally, I wouldn't want to be misleading. But this is how Steve Madeley in The Athletic, this is how he described Rodri's injury. You know Rodri's non-contact injury, where his ACL blew out when he tried to change directions? Well, this was how Steve Madeley described it. He said, just when a game of football was threatening to break out, the games of shoving returned in the 16th minute when take one of a Manchester City corner was aborted after Thomas Partey followed Havertz's lead. Thomas Partey followed Havertz's lead by clattering Rodri off the ball, this time with a knee to the upper part of the Spaniard's leg. A rare moment of double dark arts and one with serious consequences as Rodri was forced off with an injury. Sorry? Partey clattered him, apparently, according to this guy. Now, within the same article, he did also say that for our first goal, Martinelli's cross was cleared away out to Calafiori, who then scored, which just literally isn't what happened. Martinelli never put a cross in. He passed it to Calafiori. So I'm not even entirely sure he watched the game. But again, the way that they try to drive these narratives, the way they try to, and that's what it is, and it's a narrative. And then you've got City fans saying, "Yeah, Rodri's injured because Arsenal targeted him." And The Athletic, I pay a fucking subscription for that place. Anyway, by the way, I called that guy out on Twitter completely non-abusively, literally just highlighted it and said that this is really poor, and he blocked me. Didn't take it down, blocked me. So that's what a paying subscriber of The Athletic gets, which is fantastic. 100 likes, that's much better. Thank you for the 100 likes. You are legends. Absolute legends. That's what Haaland was doing to Saliba and Partey. Yes, it is. City have been flexing that checkbook on the media. Disgusting club. It's crazy. Isn't that journo related to Madley brothers ref? No, I don't think it's spelled the same. I think he's called Richard Madeley and the other one is Madley. So I don't think it is the same. But yeah, it's crazy. Arteta learnt the dark arts from Pep. This is the thing. These dark arts, we haven't invented them. Arsenal haven't suddenly invented a dark art or a loophole or a way of getting around the laws of the game that no one's ever seen before. In terms of blocking the goalkeeper on corners, right? That's one they really don't like, the blocking the goalkeepers on corners. Brentford against Arsenal, Ramsdale literally held to the floor. Brentford score, no foul given. Arsenal told not to be so soft. Aston Villa, I think it was Ollie Watkins, exactly the same thing. Stood in front of Aaron Ramsdale, reached behind his back and held on to Ramsdale. They scored. No foul given. Arsenal were soft if we wanted to complain about it. West Ham last season. I mean, there was no VAR for that one, which is the only kind of, because it was Carabao Cup. But again, Ramsdale's shirt nearly pulled over his head as the ball was coming in. But again, you're not allowed to complain about that, otherwise you're soft. So that's not something that we've invented. We've just seen other teams do it and used it ourselves. I mean, staying down and time wasting is what we come up against in most games from minute one. What else is there? What else could we have possibly invented? I don't even know. It's just insane. City have been doing those rotational fouls for years and years. Yeah, City rotational fouls. They they play a high line where they know they're exposed on the break, so they have to foul as soon as they lose the ball. And they do, but they take it in turns to commit the foul so that someone doesn't do 2 or 3 in a row and get booked. What about Tommy Setford? Can he play tomorrow? No, Tommy Setford's injured, unfortunately. Rory, you are rich. Subscription to The Athletic. Yeah, I think it only cost me about £2 a month, though. I saw it the other day. I saw £2 was going to The Athletic every month. It's cheating, Rory. End of. What's cheating? After the game, I wanted City 115 charges to be proven. Me too. The fuck is all this dark arts thing coming from? All 3 of Tim, Benelli, and Calafiori genuinely had cramp for different reasons. The ball was in play for 35 minutes. Yeah, exactly. And this is what they've done. By the way, they've been putting out these stats. It didn't really do them too many favors when you went onto Opta and you looked up who takes the longest at goal kicks, and it's Man City. That didn't do them too well. It also didn't do them too well when it turned out that the ball was in play for 35 minutes, which was the longest of any half this season. All I can say, Rory, is relax and enjoy all the tears. I'm relaxed. I am relaxed. I am absolutely relaxed. But I just find it ridiculous. I do find it ridiculous. Referee biased views, that's what. He's a mank. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, our referee for the Leicester game is Sam. What's his name? Sam Block. I can't remember what his name is. He's new to the Premier League, but Rodri doing an ACL, 16 minutes, but we can't cramp 50 minutes into being a man down. Yeah, it's insane. Seeing Martinelli say fuck off to the City players and ref made my day. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Who do you think the longer-term injury Arteta hinted at is? I don't think Arteta hinted at a longer-term injury. We spoke about this a minute ago. I don't think... I can't see where Arteta has hinted at a longer-term injury. The only thing he said is there's one player that we won't know. We don't know until tomorrow, or we don't know what their injury is yet. But I don't think he has hinted at a long-term injury. I think what Arteta said has been misinterpreted, and then it's like a game of Chinese whispers, and now people think that there's a player with a serious injury. I might be wrong, but to be fair, I've never seen any player try to unvelcro a keeper's gloves. I mean, I've not, but I bet it's happened before. I bet it has happened before. Rodri stayed down longer from when he was walked into Havertz and done his ACL than Arsenal players did in the match. True. 70% of refs from Manchester and surrounding areas. 70% of titles gone to Manchester, just saying. Yeah, I mean, look, that's always been a problem, but I don't know how we're going to solve that one. I need reverse fixture to have Gabby and Willow send Haaland to Valhalla with the rest of his team and show them any respect. Look, I mean, it's going to be... Look, the game at the Emirates is going to be unbelievable. The atmosphere, the rivalry, and it is. It's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. But even in terms of the way that the media react to so Haaland bounces the ball off the back of Gabriel's head during the celebration, right? I don't think that should be a red card. I've actually seen a lot of referees. What's his name? Lee Hackett. Is it Lee Hackett? Something Hackett? Ex-Premier League referee. He thinks that should have been a red card for Haaland for bouncing the ball off Gabriel's head. Because his point was, where do you draw the line? If a player ran up and did that not after scoring a goal, like if a player randomly did that during the game, that would be a red card. So he was like, where do you draw the line? I don't think Haaland should be sent off for it. I think it should be a yellow. But the point is, no one really cares. But most of the media found it funny. Most of the media are laughing at Haaland. Oh, Haaland, what a shithouse. How funny. Remember last season, Arsenal were getting... Last season and the season before, the media responding to Arsenal celebrating winning goals as if we'd shot someone. Remember when we scored the winner against Bournemouth? huge things about us over-celebrating. Last season, again, huge things about us over-celebrating wins, by the way. But Man City get an equaliser. Haaland bounces the ball off Gabriel's head, which could be a red card. Oh, they're loving it. They're loving it. It's crazy. Haaland has even more protection from the rest than Joel Linton. Bloke gets away with all sorts. Yeah, it's true. It's not a red, but the fact he's gone the whole match not even getting a yellow is outrageous. It is crazy. It is crazy. Oliver literally was just telling Arsenal players to get up or get off the pitch. He seemed more frustrated than the City players. He did. He did. Whenever a team has 2 injuries, I see a million injury crisis videos. Where are they now? True, true. Rodri's right about too many games, but his injury has nothing to do with that. He's played 200 minutes in the last 70 days. Yes and no. I think the effects of the number of games that Rodri's played will still have an effect, even if he's had a decent amount of break. I don't know. Where's the celebration police after City players celebrating a 2-2 draw against 10 men? Exactly. But look, it doesn't matter. The thing that we have to focus on is Bolton Wanderers. That's our next step. Then we've got Leicester. Look, the most important thing now for me, we've got 4 games until the next international break. We need 4 wins. 2 wins in the Premier League, a win in the Carabao Cup, and a win in the Champions League. That PSG game, look, we need to win that game, really, because if we don't, it's a bit of a concerning start to the Champions League campaign. And already you're in a position where getting into the top 8 is going to be a massive task. So, yeah, we do need to beat PSG in the Champions League, but it's just about focusing now. We know we should win these games, especially the Bolton, Leicester, and Southampton ones. We know we should win the games, but you got to get it done. It was like when we went away to Luton last season, and we were like, okay, well, we should win this, and then very nearly didn't. It's tough. Our only really tough away fixture left is Anfield. Yeah, have you seen that run that we go on in? Have you seen that run we go on in November? By the way, you know how people thought that the run that we just went on would be the hardest away run that we would have this season because we went away at Spurs, away at Atalanta, and away at City. Have you seen November? So our next 4 games, our next 4 games are at home. 6 of our next 7 games are at home, right? But then we've got a run where, okay, so we play Liverpool at home on the 27th of October. We then play Newcastle away on the Saturday the 2nd of November. Newcastle away, Inter away in the midweek, Chelsea away at the weekend. So, yeah, we're not fully out of the woods yet, but yeah, other than that, and then Liverpool away isn't until the 3rd to last game of the season. So we've got a tiny break between another hollow run. Yeah, basically. Benny Blanco v Rambo in corners will be interesting. Yeah, that is true, actually. Question, are Neto Cup tied in EFL only, or is it FA Cup as well? Carabao Cup only. There hasn't been an FA Cup game yet, so he'll be able to play for us in the FA Cup. Although I would expect David Raya will play in those games anyway, to be honest. So we could win the league at Anfield again. Technically, we could, yeah. Anyway, look, it is time for Guess the Goal Scorer. I'm going to give you all of the information about an Arsenal goal, and you have to give me the goal scorer and the team that it was against. Remember, the goalkeeper and the team that it was against. So yesterday, it was Aaron Ramsey versus Hull. You need to give me both parts. First person to get it right in the chat wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards because we are starting now. This goal was scored with the head. This was a headed goal. It was assisted by Martin Odegaard. It was in the 97th minute. It was at Kenilworth Road. The final score was 4-3 to Arsenal. And the date was December 2023. It's a recent one. So it was a headed goal assisted by Odegaard in the 97th minute in a 4-3 win at Kenilworth Road in December last year. And of course it was Declan Rice versus Luton. I actually accidentally mentioned that game a few minutes ago, which none of you spotted. So that was lucky. But the winner is Nid is the winner. Declan Luton, that is correct. Rice versus Luton. Ronan was second. Jakob was third. Ross Lawman was fourth. And James Salder was fifth. There you go. Congratulations to Nid, though. Very well done. Very well done. I've forgotten it was with the head. It was indeed. It was indeed. Ronan, unlucky. We're winning until Inter away. Inter away and Chelsea away will be interesting. I think we can go unbeaten until Christmas. Hopefully. Hopefully. There you go. That is Nid's first ever win. Congratulations to Nid on the first win. And VV Vlad has confirmed VAR check complete. Golazzo to Nid. And now it is time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. And you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Nid currently has. This player started their career at Delta Warsaw. They went to Legia Warsaw. They went to Snicks Pruskow. They went to Lech Poznan. They then went to Borussia Dortmund. They went to Bayern Munich. And they went to Barcelona. So a bunch of Polish clubs. Dortmund, Bayern, Barca. Who is the player? Bam, bam, ba-dam, bam, ba-dam, bam. And the winner is, it's Jakob. Robert Lewandowski is the answer. Jakob was first. Devin was second. Nid was third. Brax was fourth. And Spacetime was fifth. So there you go. Jakob, that was impressive. That was impressive. Very well done to Jakob. And very well done to Nid. But look, that is going to be VAR misspelled. I think we understood. No, Nid, on your screen, you might be ahead, but on my screen, you're not, unfortunately. The way the internet works means that on your screen, your message gets added to the chat instantly. It doesn't take into account other messages that have been sent in a similar time. I promise you. Save Mikel Arteta now. Get him a striker, Edu. VAR confirmed. There we go. Hyper has confirmed the VAR check is complete. I'm sorry, Nid, but you did get your win in Guess the Goal Scorer. But like I said, that is going to be the end of the stream. I'm not live tomorrow because I'll be at the Arsenal game. I will, of course, have all of the usual TikTok content responding to that. But we will be back live here 6:30 on Thursday as normal. Please do subscribe if you're not already. We are just edging our way to 12,500 subscribers. Click on the like button before you jump off. And other than that, have an absolutely fantastic evening and goodbye.